All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Tuesday edition of the MSP Initiative live from Orlando, Florida at Zero Trust World.
Sunny Orlando, Florida,
And warm.
and warm.
Exactly. Got my in person, my co-host here, Mr. Kenny P. And we are live and in Technicolor. So, Ken, we made it. We made it to Orlando. Most people did. Very busy week here in Florida. Apparently, this is a very busy winter break time.
February vacation for the Northeast.
For the Northerners down here in Florida. So everything is kind of busy, right? Car rentals are sold out. Disney World is and Orlando are pretty full, and everything's. If you didn't book ahead, you probably got some crazy prices.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The planes were packed. Actually, my layover was in DC, and there were two planes side by side, both going to Orlando.
Yes.
Packed.
It is the place to be, Florida, at this time for sure. 83, 85 degrees, sunny.
Not hard to take compared to the cold that's going on at home.
No snow squalls down here.
No,
not at all.
Yeah.
So some housekeeping, right? We successfully pulled off our first MS Community block party of the year. So we don't have any one for you to sign up for yet. There's another one coming. We'll talk about that in a little, maybe not in this session, but we successfully pulled off yet another MSP community block party. We're very successful here around the Zero Trust World Conference. So thanks for everyone who came out and spent time to just hang out and network with the community. I mean, that's what they're all about, right? And but we do have this session and every other session available on mspinitiative.com under sessions. And we also have our Channel Strong Tour. And you'll see all 8 weeks of the Channel Strong Tour posted to the MSP Initiative website. They're 1 week tours spread out all throughout the year, going through a lot of America, where we're doing one city per day in an MSP parking lot, hosted by somebody who's was willing to loan us their space. Take a look. You might be in one of those. Either A, come out, right? We'd love to see you as we matriculate through 2022.
Make sure you register though, because that's how we count for how much food and drink we have.
This is true. Or if you think that you could host us in your parking lot, just shoot us a quick message, and we'd love to maybe borrow your area, right? So we can make it all happen. So all that being said, that's usually our housekeeping.
Also, just quickly, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, the previous events photos are at the bottom of each one of those previous dates.
That's
so
true.
You can check out what it looked like in the past.
That's true. The Channel Strong Tour, the block parties, we like to document and a scrapbook, if you would, right? Those events. So we love to see people happy, hanging out. So that being said, that's usually the housekeeping. Ken, we said this earlier on. There's 2 conferences happening simultaneously. We tend not to see that often in MSP land, but it's early. One's here in Orlando, which you said Zero Trust World, where we're actively at now. And then the other one is NerdioCon down in Cancun. I was just seeing some photos coming through.
Yep.
And looks like they're having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, they found a spot that's just a little bit sunnier than where we're at. So there you go. I think that you're right. You don't usually see 2, cons, right? 2 big ones, right, at the same time. And so for this one, it was a little bit, hey, beginning of the year, everybody was chomping at the bit to get back to doing something. So something got missed along the way. There was they didn't communicate, whatever it is. Didn't see the full calendar of each other's stuff going on, but both things seem to be looking pretty good. This event was decent. And I think
approximately 300 here, right?
Yeah. And the key for me is the maturity level of the people that are at the events.
It's interesting. We talked about Andrew Morgan's event, Right of Boom, that was here just 3 or 4 weeks ago in Tampa.
All I've heard is good things about
and we heard similar maturity level, right? And similar sizing, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people interested in security, which
of course
is the topic of the day, has been for a little bit.
Yep.
But cool to see these conferences kicking off.
Yeah.
Cool to see that there's a lot of participation. A lot of the times the problem is getting people to leave their house
Right.
and travel a little bit. And we
Or
understand.
leave their world in the MSP's case, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to get out of the weeds to do little things, let alone take a whole entire trip and be away.
Well, but I think everybody's learned that they can work remotely.
Oh, well, that's true too. They
And
can,
the work from anywhere is
but
for
you don't do a
real.
lot of that when you're at an event where you're learning like this, right? This is hands-on. It's tough to
They all
get
have,
away.
I saw a lot of laptops in there. Saw a lot of, were they learning about rubber duckies or were they working?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, like that's the part of it. But I think that every MSP should understand that this is part of what you're doing. Part of becoming more mature is going to events and talking to other MSPs and figuring out what they're doing and how, you know what I mean?
Let me
That's a big chunk of it.
simplify it. Part of it is education.
Right. Well,
And education comes in a lot of different ways.
education is everything.
But I would say that you learn more from what other people are doing before you can figure out what you plan to do,
Right.
right? So I think that's part of the thing that makes the events worthwhile. It's not watching presentation after presentation after presentation,
Right.
although there's a lot of education there. It's understanding what your peers in the industry are doing and not
Right.
doing and what's successful so that you don't have to learn those things the hard way every step of the way.
Right. Learn from other people's mistakes.
I wish everybody did that. So yeah, seeing a lot of conversation, a lot of people who are talking about, pretty much any topic, right? Especially when you get to that networking style time, right? And you're less formal, you get some good information, right? You get some good conversation going. So at the end of the day, I appreciate that. I think that's a part of the events we all really love.
Yeah.
And not every event's created equal either. Right? I mean, some events are small, some events are big. But at the end of the day, we like that this is kicking off conference season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I don't think that, like I said before, I don't judge the conference by its size. I judge it by the maturity level of the folks that are coming out there. Just almost like the
100%.
bus tour, right? The bus tour, we make stops, so it's hard for some people to come out. We get an average group of 30 or so, 50 or so people, the bigger ones. And we always say it every single time. It's like, yeah, okay, maybe this one event we had 20 people out, but man, that was 20 of the most mature MSPs we've seen. And the collaboration that happens just between them, so let's just leave the vendors out of it. Collaboration between them was pretty cool to see. And then of course you put in the vendor knowledge and all of us in the same place talking about these things and learning about, someone brings something up and you're like, oh, I never thought of that. Right. And we always see something new get found and then people are applying that. So I think that's a really key component of it. So if you got that maturity level, it changes the whole game.
I agree. And at the end of the day, when we say maturity, right? I mean,
Not about size.
We're not trying to borrow, Paul Dipple's OML, right? Maturity level, right?
Yeah, right.
Operational maturity level. It could just be that you've narrowed down your company to the things that you want to concentrate on.
Yeah.
And you've shed the weight of all of the things that were just, maybe earlier, business that you brought on because you were starting and maybe it doesn't make sense anymore, right? Like I think once you get to a certain level, you finally start to realize the value of your time.
Yep.
And I think that's the big barrier, right? Like once you understand the value of your time and other people's time, then you begin to decide things differently.
Yeah. And again, another thing that's not measured by size. When you say maturity level, some of the smaller guys go, hey, what do I get it? I only have no. I mean, we know one of our favorite MSPs out in Utah before he, merged with got bought by another company. He had 3 people. It was him and 2 techs. And they were one of the most mature businesses. Their EBITDA was through the roof. They were doing very well.
Their costs were low, their profits were high.
Exactly. So maturity has nothing to do with your size. As George was alluding to, it has to do with your practice, where you are. Do you have a good understanding of who you are, what you do, and who you serve? It makes a huge difference. And that's where maturity level comes from. So not the size.
Processes, workflow,
Right.
Being lean, right? Making sure you're spending your money wisely.
Right.
I mean, I love hearing the stories like, you remember Luis, who used to be at IT Glue, now he's over at
Yes.
Scale Pad, right?
Yep.
He used to do a presentation where he said, hey, I ran a $1 million MSP on 2 people.
Yep.
Right? Like a lot of automation, a lot of workflow, a lot of making sure you have the right clientele, right? So that you can fit everything into what you're trying to do.
By the way, that's, what, 700,000-800,000 per employee rate. That's a pretty damn good number.
Yeah. I mean, if everybody could do it at that size, they would.
Yeah.
You know, like you see similar companies with 5, 8, 10 people.
Yep.
Right. So I think part of, understand, and then the other part of business is understanding the wave that's coming, right? I think that's a lot of where Right of Boom was talking about. I didn't get to see a lot of their sessions, but, I think they were talking about, trying to get ahead of, the boom, right? And the issue that's coming downstream. And I'm not saying you have to be bleeding edge,
Right.
but you have to be ahead of the curve.
Especially with security.
Well, I mean, security feels like a constantly moving target.
Yeah, I know, but that's why you have to constantly just be paying attention to it, like we talk about.
I remember we had Danny on here talking about Zero Trust World. And I forgot I had to plug my USB ports up and make sure that I was like not on the hotel wireless, and God knows what else they're doing at this conference.
Yeah, I was talking to Shane last night, our Irish friend, and he was giving me a hard time, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, sure. You want the password to the Wi-Fi? By the way, I'd like to check out your bank account and some." And I'm like, "Yep, no, I would." Ever since one of the earlier ones that we saw, I don't think I've been on hotel Wi-Fi in a very long time.
Yeah, 4G, right? Or I'm sorry, 5G. Yeah. Which is interesting, completely separate note. You know how successful we were while we were on the road with the hotspots.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I hit up T-Mobile, which was like, the best price for the most gigs prepaid hotspot. And not only when you walked in did they say, oh, the 5G isn't even available. You have to order it and it has to come in. The hotspot. The 4G now, you can't even get to the higher tiers unless you agree to a contract.
Yeah, no.
So they cut it down in half.
Remember what they did to me. Love the service. We even told them, I even said to them, like, look, I'm not debating your service. On the bus, it was the strongest signal we had across the country. There's no question. But I am questioning your service behind this.
Whatever happened with that?
It went forever. They sent me to collections over a bill that we didn't owe, right? And I'm like, and then it turns out that they're the original person that signed us up for the wrong contract. Because remember, we were in a hurry.
Yeah.
I went in with Alec, and
so they signed you. They signed you up for a 2-year.
Actually sign up for a actual contract instead of the one-time fee for the prepaid data. Yeah. And by the way, we never even used that data, so I could prove to them, like, look, not only did you put me in the wrong place, but the thing we bought, we didn't even use, and I'm not even debating that. We had paid for that because I came in to buy it, but we didn't use the data. Look it up. And the guy's like, yeah, you guys didn't really use the data on this thing. I'm like, yes, we came in, we did it, and then it turned out that people were on their own thing. Yeah, they finally cleaned it.
That was after like 6 months?
Oh yeah, a big battle.
Wow, for like $80?
$80. I know. And that's what it was. I was like, I'll just pay the damn thing, but I'm like, no.
Wow.
I pulled a little George principle on that one.
Yeah, I've heard a couple people say they pulled the George recently. Speaking of which, I didn't categorize it this way, but our last MSP community block party, I think that qualifies as a bar rescue. What do you think?
It definitely does. I mean, you didn't have to put any turf down here.
Yeah. I didn't have to call up the turf company and roll out like 4 1,000-foot rolls of grass. It looks great.
Yeah, it did look good. And now, because of how many parties George is now becoming a part of, we're now walking into a restaurant and the same general manager happens to be in that restaurant.
So funny.
And another whole conversation ensues.
Here's a funny, right? At the last MSP community block party, somehow the management company of the complex decided to like start reconstructing things. And like we literally roll in and there's a hole in the middle of the concrete, like you're gonna fall in kind of hole, right? Like a couple feet. And I was like, what is that? And that can't be here. So apparently, fast forward 4 or 5 months, they finally put concrete to cover in the hole. But then when they put the concrete in, they didn't put any like cones around it to say, hey, wet paint.
Oh, that's right. So someone walked.
So the dude fell in. Some guy fell into like literally the concrete hole.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't write this. Concrete.
This is, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, we're getting heckled from the
okay.
From the fans.
That's all right. So fun times, right? When we're out on the road.
Right. Listen, usually when you hear about someone getting put in cement, they don't come out. Just saying.
I mean, we're not in an episode of The Godfather here, pal. All right, we're not sleeping with the fishes. So always fun times. You know, we could probably talk about travel etiquette while you're on the road. I feel like people sometimes don't know until they are in it. I mean, I'm just saying.
Do tell.
I mean, in Vegas, it's really easy to get away with it, right? Because you show up,
And
you
everybody
grab,
just goes,
you grab your badge, right? And then like you're there for like the opening thing, and then ugats, you're at the
Right.
pool or whatever. I mean, probably shouldn't be at the conference pool while the event's going on. What do you think?
if you're paying to be at the event, are you talking about the vendor side or the
I don't
MSP
care.
side?
I don't think that makes sense.
Well, I'm saying, is it MSP side or the vendor side?
Well, if the event's going on, you should be learning while you're at the pool.
Okay, so if the MSP side.
Sure.
And what about the vendors who have a little bit of a break? You don't think they could go out there and take a pop a squat? And
Listen, I don't know how everybody's company set up their roles, but I assume they still have emails and phone calls and that Zooms to do. Probably not the right time in the middle of the day to be at the pool. What do you think?
probably right.
Okay.
Me, depends on the situation. But I would say for me, yeah, right smack dab in the middle of the event, probably not a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. So definitely, but by the way, you know, it's a small area, right? It's not like, you know.
Well, that's the other thing. If you're in an event that's large and the pool is not directly facing every single person, their rooms and the actual hall, then it's probably not as bad if you take a break and you go, you know, like the larger events. I used to always say, yeah, man, if you need to take a break because you're drinking from the fire hose at one of these larger events where you're 7 o'clock in the morning until, whatever at night.
Yeah.
Pounding away. I used to say to the people that I knew, look, there's certain things you have to do because it's part of what you pay for.
Sure.
But take a break. But here in a place like this, or some of the places we've seen, yeah, you go up to your room and you look out and you're like, oh, it's like 6 guys from whatever. Like even the IT Nation was big enough and the pool wasn't facing anybody. And my wife came out to the event and she's like, hey, I'm gonna go out to the pool. And it was the end of the day. So I ended up going back to the room and changing and going up there. And she's like, all these MSPs were up here. And she literally says to them, don't you guys work? I was like, eesh, take it easy. These guys are getting killed over here with the freaking content. But stuff like that, where it's out of the way, you can go, take a breather from all that crap, because it's one thing after the other that you're supposed to be doing. So
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that, but you're right. When it's in a place that's this small and it's during the actual content that's going on and some of the stuff that's happening, and all you have to do is someone's taking a break and look over to the pool and see you. I get it.
Now, some other things that are worth noting, and there's a lot of people who'd be like, I'm never going to events, so I don't care. You should probably have comfortable shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And shoes that have been broken in before you came to the event. I know a lot of people like me. I'm like, oh, it's time for new shoes, but I didn't have enough time to break them in. And then, you pay the price for that.
Right.
Simple things. We got somebody on chat here. Hold on, let's see. I'm in the pool now, Pete says.
Yeah, but see, he's not a part of the event.
Wow. Interesting, Pete. Appreciate that, buddy. You can join us if you want. Just saying. So I love to see some familiar faces from the MSP Initiative cast here, right? We see Darren, our favorite Chick-fil-A buddy. Ran into him here.
Made the offer today to do a bunch of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, and then we saw Keith Nelson.
Yep, Keith Nelson, another regular.
Mr. Cigar himself.
Mr. Everything's about a cigar.
Yeah. We had a lot of Pete says, I'm really in my room working, LOL.
Sure. He's like, oh, I just said that live. I should probably retract that.
Yeah, probably. So that's great. Appreciate that, Pete. So
yeah,
Keith,
we got Keith, we see Pete, and we saw some
we saw
some familiar, Facebook group people like Dave Scott and
Dave Scott wasn't here.
I saw Dave Scott. Yes.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I talked to Dave Scott last night.
That's news to me.
Yeah, you didn't see him?
No.
Yeah. Pretty sure I saw him.
Okay.
And Dave, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw Dave walking in the lobby. Saw quite a few people, get to see some vendors, and some of them haven't been out in a while, right?
Yeah,
So get to see, and we're seeing some new vendors like Quick Bass with Jimmy Hansel starting over
yeah,
there,
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
always good to see people like Jimmy land and then hit a place and hit the ground running, right? He's bringing them right into the channel hard.
Yeah, we're starting to hear you have those road warriors that and I was talking to Amelia. She's like, I was like, so do you have a car? She's like, yeah, I have a Toyota Camry. I was like, how many miles do you think you put on that in the last 2 years? She's like, I don't know, 4,000 miles. It's like, your car is literally not moving at 4,000 miles every 2 years.
Right.
So obviously she lives on a plane.
Absolutely. She does a lot of events.
Now here's an idea. So we've successfully pulled off the party on the ground, and we've definitely done a party on the water. There might be a return of that, by the way. What about a party in the air?
I don't know about that.
Well,
Why you want to pull that off?
rent a plane, fly around in the
Rent a
air,
plane.
and then land back at the same airport. What do you think?
First of all, I don't think anything about being on a plane is really fun.
Well, you don't have to have a plane with all the seats like a normal
No,
plane.
I'm just saying.
Remember that movie? It was
Snakes on a Plane?
No, not Snakes on a Plane. What's
Snakes on a MFN plane?
Yeah, I remember that
I
plane,
know.
but that's not the plane I'm
I know.
talking about. Soul Plane.
Oh, so,
What?
all right, man. I'm not excited about having a party in the air.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
No. Now, if you want to do it like on a tall building or something and call that in the air, then fine, we can do something like that.
Remember, I came this close to having a hangar party.
This is true. This is true.
I mean, if that inaugural Wingman 2020 went off, it would have been a hangar party.
There would. You got approval.
I still have that in my back pocket.
Yes, you do.
Okay, all right, but that wasn't in the air.
No, it was in a place where you get the air.
I was telling our buddy Paul, I was like, what do you think about this idea? He's like, do I get points? I'm like, there would be no travel points here. He's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
No. So back to the grind here. Hold on. Do we have more?
Just because we did a bus didn't mean we actually had a party on the bus either.
I mean, listen, I didn't say that the bus wasn't, a
No,
good
we
time.
haven't done that yet. Actual party
A
on
party on the bus?
like a moving party on a bus,
Huh.
like those those party buses, which we have done.
Are you-
I
I don't-
did do that.
wait a
at an
minute,
event.
I don't
You
think
weren't there though.
I don't think you can't have open container
Yeah, you can.
on a bus.
What do you think those happens on those parties? It's like a limo, only it's a
Yeah.
party bus.
Yeah.
They serve alcohol.
Huh.
They have flashing lights and music, and it's not big enough for the parties that you throw.
Yeah.
But remember, we were stuck in Texas with no Ubers or Lyfts.
I heard this story.
And the first thing I thought of was a bus, but I was like, there's no way we'll pull it off. And the girl from that was at Pack State, Haley, pulled it off like a rock star. Called some guy. He's like, yeah, I can be there in a couple hours. She's like, no, now. And the dude got out of bed and came, picked us up in this party bus. And it was only like, the place was only
Did it
like
have-
a
did it have
mile
a
down
di-
the street.
did it have a
Oh, it
disco
had
ball?
lights flashing and everybody singing. And it was, yeah, you'll have to ask JP about that trip, because JP did a little singing on the bus. It was pretty fun. But we did do the party on the bus thing to the
Well,
thing.
we
The
should
most
be-
expensive Uber I've ever had to pay for.
We should be saying we should be seeing JP in approximately a month.
That's right.
That'll be the first Channel Strong tour through Texas.
That's right. Yep,
And I believe he's hosting us
he is.
in Fort Worth.
JP is hosting us in Fort Worth, and we saw our friend. We saw our friend Ryan from Iron Edge. He's hosting us in Houston.
Yes, Mr. Ryan Lakin
Yeah,
himself.
saw Ryan Lakin. He's hosting too. So yeah, we got some good hosts going on in Texas, and it's gonna be a really good party. I think there's gonna be
Yeah.
a lot of collaboration, a lot of fun,
You're-
big mix.
You're going to be in Texas next week, right?
I am this week, end of this week.
Okay, that's
Saturday.
for exchange
Exchange
or
Dallas.
whatever they call it.
Yeah, it's exchange.
But it's not. That's not the exchange. It's like
Yes, it is.
no. They do multiple.
They do two exchanges.
Okay.
One in March and one in Denver. And this one's just scraping March because it's really the end of February. Then March 1st is the last day
Okay.
of the actual event. But that's in exchanges in March in Dallas, and then exchanges in August in Denver.
August in Denver.
So that's not a bad one.
Reminds me of a rooftop.
Yeah. Hello there.
Reminds me of a rooftop at a DataCon in the
Right.
past. You remember
That's
that?
right. I do remember that. That was Denver for sure. Yes.
Yeah. I wonder, I'm sure it's not anywhere close to that.
What?
The Denver location for that. For
Honestly, if it turns out to be the Gaylord Denver, what's it called? The new Gaylord in Denver is called the Gaylord Rockies. And that place is, that's where Wingman was going to be. That big giant hotel that's close to the airport.
That's right next to it. That's why we're gonna do the hangar.
Yeah, right. That's the same place. That's where I'm guessing that's where Exchange will be.
No rooftops there.
No, but a gigantic hotel. And also that we're going to the Gaylord in Dallas, which you know is the favorite spot for two of the most infamous stories that ever happened to me on the channel.
Did you call ahead to make sure that your status has been recognized?
It will be interesting. Last time she was like, I'm not even sure what to do with you. Two very infamous stories at the same hotel, two times in a row, and this will be only the third. This is the third time.
I mean, we could make like a Netflix series out of this.
Kind of.
I think so. I think so. Next time you see Ken, ask him about an elevator and ask him about a guy in the window.
Yeah, a large naked guy.
Yeah. Third time's a charm, Pete says.
Yeah, third time's a charm.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what that charm is. Speaking of charm, we should get
so Brent, you came in a little bit late. We're actually in Orlando at Zero Trust World, sponsored by Threat Locker. So that's where we're at right now. At the
Brett.
He can't see us. We're at the Rosen Plaza, which is across the street from the Hyatt Regency. If you've ever been to IT Nation in the past several years, literally across.
Here's another familiar face. Come on back here, Brett. We're live, baby.
We're
live, baby. Brett Mesh, say hello to the audience.
Hey guys.
We got Brett Mesh here, Premier Data out of Louisiana.
Yeah.
How was the party? Let's ask someone who's not so biased. How was the party last night?
It was awesome.
Yeah, man, right? It's good time.
As usual.
Yeah.
Y'all guys always do a great job.
Nice. How about the event? How's the event going for you?
That's great.
Yeah, a lot of content, good content. Yeah. Did your laptop get hacked?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
You learned-
Anticipating it though.
You off to a session now?
Yes, I'm going to the lab.
All right, brother.
All right. Let us
Listen, we saw your handsome face. We know how photogenic we wanted to put you live. So
live and in technical.
yeah, I'll see you, Brett.
But Pete's in his room.
Liar.
Oh.
Watch, he's gonna pop on here now, right?
Yeah. I guess we could add him, but
Probably could.
here we go. Let's add him and see what happens.
He's probably in his underwear though.
Uh-oh.
That's all right though. Waist up. You don't need.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Oh, he disappeared.
Oh, there he is. Oh. It's like, hey, wait a minute. How did he disappear?
I thought he
he switched from attendee to panelist.
Yeah, I thought he just completely disappeared. Oh, there he is.
He showed us the proof.
And
That's a background, isn't it?
just to
That's a
prove,
background. You really have a pool
Not
behind
in my
you.
I'm in my shorts.
Nice, nice.
Well, it's Orlando, so we allow you to wear some shorts. Now, the question is, do you shovel snow in your shorts?
Yes. But I can't remember the last time I shoveled snow.
He doesn't shovel snow in South Carolina though.
Yeah, but you know what he has done? He has picked up and dropped off a U-Box.
Yes, he has. He has.
Yeah.
He has rescued a U-Box.
I pass my pain along. Would you like to
No.
explain? Would you like to explain?
It doesn't belong to anybody now.
Yeah. Well, how organized was your U-Box experience there, Pete?
Much better when I dropped it off.
So apparently locks don't matter at U-Haul.
Lock? We don't need no stinking locks.
Yeah,
We have
where
a screwdriver.
we just literally take the bolts out of the box. There's no reason for the lock at all.
That's right.
Yeah, not a good design.
Well, it's better than the latch with the cheese curl on it, but
Not by much.
not much
Not by much at all.
required.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Come here. You can't just walk by. We have our old friend. What the hell's that?
Don't worry about that.
We have our old friend
Yeah.
Alec.
Who's Alec?
Alec's been manning the booth while we're out here going live and having a little bit of fun.
Well, somebody has to work.
Somebody does have to work.
Oh, it's been good. It's been good.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Show.
We were just talking about the maturity level of the folks that come to an event like this, the security events and things like that. Like the numbers
Very
may
different, yeah.
the numbers may not be as high, but you're getting much stronger
Yeah.
MSPs.
We're
that
getting
are-
MSSPs. You're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
that security focus. You're getting, expanding the offering, right? I mean, zero trust is definitely a whole other level to it.
Right.
The buzzword, right?
The buzzword. All I know is I haven't turned my laptop on since I came here because I just don't trust it. I'm on my phone.
Gotta
Yeah.
have zero trust.
I have zero trust.
He's gonna stick with his phone. That Facebook's the same.
I'm lying, actually. Of course, I had to have my laptop on.
You gotta make sure to plug those laptop USB ports.
Yeah.
Definitely. Scan QR codes around here.
Oh, yeah, no QR code scanning at
Oh,
all.
no, I've learned that. Matt Lee did a whole video on that.
Yeah.
Yes, not just security, zero trust, says Brett. Well, thank you, buddy. Yeah.
100%.
Zero trust. I wanted, everybody talked about that.
Okay, Alec, we're gonna let Ryan slide in.
Every-
here because We were just talking about Ryan,
Go ahead, guys.
we were just talking about Ryan
You're
Lakin.
one
Come on,
viewer,
we're on live.
you're one viewer on
Look,
Facebook
no,
Live
he
was
is.
me.
Here he is.
There he is.
So hosting us in Houston for the first stop on the bus tour,
Channel Strong.
Mr. Ryan Lake.
Let's make sure we got a lot of parking lot.
And I hear Ryan will also be, at a September diplomat vote near you.
That's a rumor. All these rumors, I don't know.
I don't
Hey,
know.
we're-
I think
We're
Ryan,
rolling into Houston in a 26, we're gonna roll into Houston with a 26-foot orange U-box.
no U boxes. We're done.
He had no
I don't
more
ever,
boxes.
I might have to immediately blacklist the color orange. What do you think?
That was, yeah, we were noticeable.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, Chris wants to wrap the trailer.
You tell Chris to take it easy and no more tickets.
Yeah, no more tickets. Mr. Ticket himself tells you you're not getting any more tickets. You're in trouble.
Yeah, I got a long ride, so we'll see if I can do that
Go.
without a ticket.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, no more orange, Pete.
No,
Orange is out.
So orange isn't the new black?
Orange is not the new black.
Okay.
Maybe the new black list.
Oh, the new black list. Coined another one. We got another chat there.
Oh, let's see.
Might be the one we didn't clear out.
Third time's a charm. That was
Yeah,
Pete.
yeah, that's Mr.
Yeah.
Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
Your
true.
backdrop almost looks like a hotel. I thought I heard a splash of a pool though, so.
Nope, hotel room for sure. Wow. It's almost like a apartment style setup, which is
Yep.
cool. Very nice.
Almost made my bed.
Almost. Well,
Almost.
who needs to do that?
I know, you're just gonna mess it up again.
Yeah. Nobody
Yeah,
wants,
exactly.
We don't have room service doing it anymore. They don't come anymore.
they haven't changed that?
No, they don't come unless you request now. That's the new.
Well, over here, because it's like one of those resort vacation clubs, you gotta basically request anything that you want. They don't even think about going to your room.
Wow.
But,
That's true.
in
That's how,
typical fashion, last night, my air conditioner wasn't working.
Oh, God. No
And they-
AC in Florida?
And they decided to do construction on the next lot over. So at 7:15 this morning, the little bulldozers started clearing out. So
Wow.
The little bulldozers.
Let's see if we add Darren, if he's gonna be live from Chick-fil-A. Let's see. Gotta promote him here. Let's see if he pops on, shows us the goods.
He might even be in a session right now. You never
You
know.
think? I don't
I
know.
know he texted me and asked me if I had a vehicle to
Oh,
do it.
here he is.
So
Live from the
No,
Chick-fil-A.
no video, but I'm coordinating the Chick-fil-A for right after this, so I'm gonna handle it.
Ah,
well, do I need to come pick you up, Darren, to go to Chick-fil-A?
You do, yeah, yes, you do, sir. Because unfortunately, I can't order because it's only through DoorDash, and that means it negates any benefit, including earning the large amount of points. So I must make, yeah,
So
Must
you're
make
gonna
the
pay for the
physical
gas so Darren can get the points.
that's right.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right, I'll come over after we're done.
How can you say that?
I know, I knew that would bother you.
Chick-fil-A
There
is
will,
like,
there will be Chick-fil-A for all. There will be
No,
plenty.
no, not for all. They already got lunch, except for George. George didn't get lunch,
I did
so
not get
we
it.
can bring George
Oh, well,
back
then-
to Chick-fil-A. He'll be happy.
Oh, then, okay, then we can revisit this then. Okay, no problem. We'll have to waste the time now.
He was gonna put the kibosh.
Oh, so you don't want to do Chick-fil-A unless you can buy for the whole building. I got you.
Well, I wanted to be a nice person and, so that's,
Yeah, and earn points.
It's all about the points. It's just like Paul. He doesn't want to
But-
get on a plane unless he's earning points.
So you don't want to do Chick-fil-A today because it's not for everybody?
no, I'll get it. I mean, Pete's probably hungry. I'm starving.
Oh, I'm starving too. And George has
Picky with food and I could use it, so.
We can bring George some food.
This is a Ken Patterson special.
Pretty smooth, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty smooth.
Well, let's ask Darren since we have him on the line. So Darren, you've been at the conference here. You have you. For some reason, it seems like you and Keith Nelson haven't run into each other, so we'll have to make sure that happens.
We have, and there
That's
was
nice.
actually the talk today, the conference content today actually was very good, and some of the stuff yesterday I attended. So, and there's a couple things this afternoon. So I actually think the content here is excellent for what I'm most concerned with. So I'm very happy.
Did you learn how to use your rubber ducky?
It's not a priority. I got it, but I don't have not on my list to worry about. I'll have my techs play with them, so I don't really need it.
Or your pineapple?
No, I don't have a pineapple. That you have to get. That's not on the
Wasn't-
agenda.
Separate purchase required.
Right.
I see. I understand. So anyway, the good news is they actually had, I think, the CIO from JetBlue here,
Really?
So that was very good.
and then yesterday they had the
I
guy.
would have liked to talk to that guy about my points and how they bumped me out of Mosaic.
Ooh.
I would have had a very good conversation with that man.
So the CIO of JetBlue, and keep in mind JetBlue this is like way like mid 2000s, they were one of the first major companies to home source their call center. So imagine they've had all these people working from home for 15, 20 years.
Right.
Like only like the call center managers are at the corporate offices and everybody's been at home the whole time. That was way before COVID.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, those are the companies that when this hit, it was like a blip. Nothing
Yeah,
happened. It
nothing
wasn't a
happened.
big deal.
Well, other than less reservations.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Speaking of which, since we're on plane conversation, you heard Spirit and Frontier are going to merge.
Yes.
That could be your new airline.
No.
No?
We combined dumpster fires don't tend to be anything better.
I mean, listen, AirTran and Southwest merged back
I'm
in the
not a
day.
big fan of Southwest.
You got to do what you got to do. Nope.
Nope.
You know,
But I'm running out of airlines. You're right. Because now, and by the way, JetBlue
is apparently acquired by American.
definitely has some relationship with American, so much so that now at any JetBlue flight they honor American Airlines people who are in the higher tiers of the American Airlines, so they get on the flight first.
So JetBlue is definitely, it's just American.
There's definitely American there. I don't know which way it went, but it's American is definitely very much merged with JetBlue.
Interesting. So do you keep the Spirit name or the Frontier name, or do you make a new name like Front Spirit?
I knew you.
I think Frontier is going to be the,
Spiritier.
Spiritier? I like Spiritier. That could work.
I think it's going to stay Frontier, is what I heard.
So do they charge extra for air, or do they give that away for free?
Yeah, they charge extra for a lot. I think those flights, like I think the flight here, like every other airline, was $700 to $900, right? We were having a hard time booking down here, coming here, and then Spirit was $34. And I'm like, there's a reason.
Well, $34. Then you add your bags. That's another $50. Then you add, like it'll end up being like $200-300.
It does start to add up. You're right.
Sure, of course. It's a nickel and dime show. Did I ever tell you the first time I went on a Frontier flight? I didn't know. I knew like it was a nickel and dime thing. And some dude's like, "Hey, did you get your change?" I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, like quarters and stuff." I was like, "For what?" He's like, "Oh, you didn't hear? You have to use like quarters to get into the bathroom. It's like a gumball machine." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Okay." So like I went to like a vendor behind me. I got a bottle of water, trying to break some change. The guy totally got me. I mean, this wasn't recently, but I mean, what was I supposed to know?
That's funny.
They told them, no, I just need nickels and dimes.
Well, I mean, maybe they
No
only
quarters,
take,
just nickels and dimes.
well, just telling you.
Would a slug work?
Would a slug work?
Remember the old slugs you just put into, they were fake
Oh,
quarters?
with
Yeah,
the little
metal
rope on
quarter,
the end.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
pull
yeah,
it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I haven't seen that in so long.
Right, exactly. I just came to my brain when you said it. There's a lot of things missing from this brain, and that thing just popped in there.
Wow.
But yeah, I remember the old slugs that you could put into like machines and pull them back
You
on.
you would think they would take like a credit card wave, right? Like the vending machine to get in the door.
Yeah. That's what, you see these new drink, soda machines.
Yeah, just so
Take
what's out the
credit
hall.
card, you just give it a wave and
Beep.
boop. Although there's one in Denver in our office, like not in our office, but in the lobby of the building of our office.
Okay.
And every single time I go to swipe it and grab one drink, it stays on the screen and says, place order, please. It makes you do two. So I think it has a minimum. Because every time I've done it, I've waited. And it's cans too, by the way, not bottles, so I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll take
You
two
got to
cans.
get 2 cans
But
per
I
transaction.
go like this, but here's the cool thing about it. Afterwards, I realized it's only $1 a can, which is ridiculous nowadays. Like you don't see that in those machines. So I'm like $2 for 2 cans of Coke Zero. I was like, okay.
But not Coke Zero Cherry.
Well, I've learned I've been okay with it, but I won't go buy it on purpose.
Oh, you're
Usually-
starting to come over to the dark side.
No, you made me drink it way too many times.
Ah.
He's like, Pete, he's like, I'm gonna get Coke Zero, and then he loads the fridge up, and I don't even look. I just go grab the damn thing, and I'm like, "Whoop, what the?
Yep.
I feel like there's a Coke Zero shortage.
Really?
Like usually I go to like the local Costco, buy in bulk, whatever, and then like they haven't had Coke Zero for like 6 months.
Really?
Only Diet Coke.
That's interesting. Yeah, and
It's
Diet
like-
Coke's so bad for you.
Well, I'm sure Coke Zero is not
No,
that much better.
It is much better. Did a little study on the two of
Ken, it is
Yeah.
not much better. You are
Yes,
you
it
are in a
is.
dream world. I mean,
John,
come
hey,
on,
hey,
it's
hey,
much
hey.
better.
We can't see you. You're not really there. I'm gonna.
You know
mute
what? No Chick-fil-A for you, George. You're getting all you want. You're off the list.
Ah.
Oh, I'm off the list. I think you might be off the list after last night.
So how about Brent says, but are they using Panasonic Wi-Fi on the jets? I mean, here's what I can tell you. The newer Wi-Fi, like not slow,
Yeah,
but
it's
the
horrible.
newer Wi-Fi is pretty speedy on the planes.
Oh yeah. The last flight here, like it was the JetBlue, in flight, and it was bad. Like even when it was the first trip, it was down. They had no internet. So I'm like, oh, this is great. No in-flight movies, no internet. People are losing their minds. And I had music on my phone, so I didn't care. I just put my headphones on, listened, and they lost internet until the end of the flight. And then I'm going up to use the toilet, and I hear the flight attendant say to the other guy, I think it's working, but I just don't want to make the announcement and have it not work because that's how sporadic it was. And I went back to my chair and I was like, boop, and it worked for like a little bit, but it was like sporadic in and out, like so I could see why she didn't tell everybody. So that was no good. And then the second part of the flight, it was on, but it was like it wasn't on. Like it kept dropping.
Dial up.
Yeah, worse than dial. At least dial up when you made the connection, you kind of stayed on there.
Many
I had
internet
to-
companies went out of business and wife works for them. Who? GoGo? Brent? Maybe we'll see what he says. But yeah, I mean it's interesting. Wi-Fi on the plane.
Yep.
You would think with all this satellite and 5G and there's a combination of something, right?
Right.
I gotta tell you though, I have AT&T in the truck and it
Yeah.
does,
No,
it
well,
did
hold on
pretty
a
darn
second.
good down. I didn't get a
Hold
lot
on.
of,
You got Starlink, Panasonic. Brent said Panasonic. Gotcha. That makes sense.
yeah, I got Starlink, but I mean, I was in the truck the day after on the way down, so.
The
That'll be
Starlink. Yeah. You think Pete could put the Starlink on like the back of his truck and just like mobile Starlink? I don't think it works like that.
I could put it on the top of the trailer.
Yeah, but not while it's moving.
Why not?
No, you have to get a separate version for that. Otherwise, once you get out of your address range, it will stop working. But they are going to have that. It's already been announced, but it will be nice when that actually comes to fruition. But it's not the current version. Will not do that.
I knew Darren would know. He's got the mobile.
Yeah. I mean, I'll use that like crazy. Yeah.
How's your internet when you're traveling around? Do you get those hotspots?
I have I use Verizon primarily on an old grandfather unlimited data, which is costs a lot but works very well. And I have an AT&T SIM card in another device, so I always have two networks.
I will say that, we'll say it again, the T-Mobile was unbelievable on the bus for the road, for the whole across country. It was
Well,
the
we might
best
have to
one.
switch it up because that plan's gone.
Yeah, well, but you don't, oh, that's right. They're not doing the one time, just buy a chunk of data.
The one-time chunk of data is down to like 50 gigs. Or no, I'm sorry, 30 gigs.
That's crazy.
I'm like 30 gigs. I'm gonna have to buy like 20 hotspots. Not good.
Well, I don't know. The truck's got the AT&T and I was impressed coming down, so.
Yeah,
AT&T wasn't horrible either, but it was the T-Mobile one. Just like there were spots where nothing would work, and the T-Mobile came through for us. We had to switch over to the T-Mobile one. And believe me, it takes a lot to say that when you're thinking about all of them. It's like, really, T-Mobile? But it did do the job in all those weird little pockets we were in.
I think they have a lot of the highway coverage.
Yes,
And we were on a lot of highway.
yeah, we were on a lot of highway.
So I think that was part of it. It'd be interesting to see, all these people already have their devices, right? So like, can they continue? I said in an earlier MSP initiative that Verizon was now going to 3 years device, credit plans, right? You know how they did like the reverse, like you trade in your device, but then every month they give you a credit back.
Yeah.
Now they do that over 36 months instead of 24. And we're getting a little crazy here.
Do we get interest on it? They're gonna pay us.
I think they're gonna flip all the plans upside down again, though,
How so?
because it's 2 years. Every 2 years, they flip the plans.
Now they want to push it to 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's getting a little crazy, man.
Hey, having the bus come up just like a salty wound last night was the funniest thing. Ken almost fell out of his chair when she said it too. Do you remember what she said? Who she
No,
compared me to?
Now what?
We were talking about how I drive to see, he's laughing, he already knows, how I drive to the events and I'm pulling my Trevor. And she goes, "Oh, is your name Slade?" But I mean, it came out like that. She didn't even
She
have
thought he
to
was
think about it.
Who is this? Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about?
Was that Taylor that said that? No.
No, that was Jen.
Oh yeah, Jen said it from the mouths of babes. That was funny. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, is your name Slade?" You should.
Well, I mean, like it just rolled off her tongue, like it was like she was waiting to use that one.
No, that name is on the blacklist. Just saying.
I don't know. I got a special T-shirt I'm gonna wear to drive this year.
Is it tie-dye?
Yep.
Speaking of, so apparently Pete has a lot of shirts and mugs now.
Yes, he does.
I have
Yeah.
water bottles too, by the way.
Oh.
Oh yeah, there's some water bottles in there too. Well, I only a few though, right? A few cases.
I think there's like 5 or 6.
Really? I didn't realize
Yeah.
there was that much.
And they were a special high demand item.
They were.
Yeah.
They were.
Yep.
Pete now has it under lock and key and a lock that can't be unscrewed apparently.
No, this one will be a little bit harder. But
Yeah.
have grinder, have power, will travel.
There you go.
There you go.
I think Pete's gonna have to apply. I said we should take Bar Rescue and send in an application. Pete should apply for Storage Wars. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when you see that storage unit come up and it's got old Channel Strong stuff that's outdated, and you'll know that
Yeah.
it was
Don't they
mine.
usually send those shirts to like some poor place in another country and all the kids are wearing them,
Yeah. Like
Kind of
that.
like the when the
That's what-
championship
Yeah.
shirts.
Like that's the the Bengals Super Bowl champion.
Right, yeah. Those shirts are now,
We got a lot of shirts.
Yeah. Or it could have been the Tom Brady is still playing shirts.
I love how far you have to reach to have something to say about that.
I mean, he's
He's not coming back. by the
apparently
way.
he's going to be playing for the
No, he's not.
49ers.
If you watched anything or heard anything, the people closest to him say there's no way in hell it's happening.
That's not what I heard. I heard a couple of people
First of
saying he'll
all,
come
the
back.
49ers just gave away the farm for a first round draft pick that they're taking.
Yeah, so
So,
who
no.
better than to mentor underneath of the GOAT?
Yeah, not gonna happen. A lot would have to happen. Plus Tampa Bay still owns his rights.
Yeah, but he's on the retirement list.
He still owns, it's like Barry Sanders when he came out of retirement to play and Detroit wouldn't let him play.
How long does that last?
I don't know, but it was a little, I mean, it was a little while, right? Barry Sanders tried to come back and then they were like, no, and it's too bad.
He's gonna let it expire so he can sign his
Barry
one-day
Sanders.
contract with the Patriots.
Yeah, right. That's supposed to happen to get his retirement with the Pats.
I really think that he might change his mind a year down the line, man.
I don't know. He's older, his kids are older, and his wife is demanding more time of him.
Yeah.
And I'm not, she's just not no ordinary wife. Giselle says, let's go. You tend to go.
Yeah. Well, he already moved out of Boston.
Yep. And he wears Uggs. So
Yeah. Well, the Uggs are a little. Yeah.
Wait, what's the matter with Uggs? I have
I
Uggs.
knew someone would.
Why are you wearing Uggs?
Dude, Uggs make some pretty manly boots.
You say manly
Yes.
and Uggs in the same sentence?
Yes.
I have some rubber bottom duck boots that like are for hunting, and they're Uggs. And they're warm as heck.
Huh. I question this story.
I'll send you a picture when I get home. I'll send you pictures when I get home.
Okay. Are you a Crocs guy too?
No Crocs.
And,
Although I'm told that they're great on the fishing deck for fishing.
Okay.
I have heard a lot of things about the Crocs. Uh-oh. We might have someone crash the party right now.
Oh boy, the man himself.
Come on, Keith, come over and say hello. Since we don't, yeah, come on, come right here.
I don't know why you guys are here. You can go out by the pool and look at girls.
No, the sun's too much on the camera.
I mean, it wouldn't be a Tuesday or Thursday without Keith getting in there somewhere.
Nelson, PhD, is in the house.
I was trying to teach these guys how to have cigars for lunch and they just wouldn't join me. Don't you think something's wrong with that?
So apparently, for anyone that hasn't heard Keith's philosophy on cigars, like since cigars are made out of plants, so they're really just salads.
It's a leafy green vegetable bundled as a group. That's the same thing as a salad.
It is actually leafy green. Starts out that way.
And if you think about it, chocolate and coffee are a bean essential diet. It's in the food group. It's in the
According to
pyramid.
this theory, that means that weed is a salad as well.
Yeah.
It's a leafy
Well,
green.
Well, hops are in beer, and hops are a form of they're in the
pyramid.
they're in that same family.
Yeah.
That's why I drink beer. It's very healthy.
Yeah, that's Ken's diet. That's why he looks like he does. Now you could take that could be a compliment.
Right.
It could-
That's why I'm only sitting from the chest up so they can't see.
Oh no,
me.
I saw you dancing
You
last
can't see-
night. You know,
can't see, there you
that was
go.
like aerobics.
It was a little bit like aerobics. I mean, I did need some oxygen when I got back to the hotel.
Yeah, he thought he was like Jane Fonda, but that's okay.
More like Richard Simmons.
Wow.
Now that would be a sight never to be seen again. That would.
You know,
Yeah.
well, it wasn't so bad that he was dancing. It was that he was in leggings and, and then
I
and
mean,
the
when you're
crop top.
dancing,
I mean, if he was dressed
better.
like Richard Simmons, I don't think I could unsee that if he did that.
Oh, he floated through the dance floor just like Richard Simmons. It was,
I know, I was there.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
yeah, not that that's wrong.
So Keith, what do you think about the event so far?
Well, I think it's a great event. I mean, you're learning a lot about, they have some smart people at Threat Locker. I'd have to say that.
Yeah.
I'm rather impressed with what they bring to the table and their knowledge. And I think it's definitely a way of the future.
Brent says, dress okay, just not the demeanor. He's talking about Richard Simmons.
He's talking about Richard Simmons.
But no, I mean, listen, they have brought some cool speakers in. I didn't even mention the guy yesterday was the actual guy that they made the movie after, Identity Theft.
Yeah.
With Melissa McCarthy
Yeah,
and
yeah. Sandy Patterson.
and the dude from
Everything.
Ozark.
Yeah. Arrested Development.
Yeah,
Ozark.
yeah.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Guys and everything.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was amazing because for being a victim of identity theft, when he says he went and did all his research, you go, he knows a lot about security. For a guy that was So when he says he was doing his homework on his computer all night, figuring out his court case, he was doing some good research.
Yeah.
He was rather impressive. Good speaker.
Yeah. What'd you think about the party last night?
Party was awesome. Thanks to our sponsors and Big George there, putting it together and getting me invited here, and
Live cigar rolling.
got
Yeah.
live cigars and
So salad.
Keith brought his own salad, but then we gave him different
Right,
salads.
right.
oh
some
yeah,
more
and the
choices.
lady at the cigar bar said, you're my best customer. And she gave me like 4 cigars to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're saying she gave you 4 cigars to go away?
Yeah, no, I think I had 6 last night. I just wanted, I was getting ready for today and make sure I had enough nutrients in my body.
Got it.
Right.
Got it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah. Cigar. Yeah. Forget milk. It's cigars.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Cigar does a body good.
Yeah. Exactly.
In fact, that's what I just had for lunch.
Well.
Nice.
For all the people watching, I tried to convince them to go outside and use the girls in the bikinis as the backdrop and have cigars, but I got voted out. But
Yeah.
Plus, these are recorded. We don't need any proof that we're
Yeah.
having that much fun.
No,
true.
we got to keep the professional, situation going.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
If you guys are professional, I guess that's my cue to leave.
Right.
Okay.
We didn't say we set the bar high.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I just don't like to be associated with that word.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.
I was gonna say, Keith, a parting jab, clearly by your choice of football team.
Ouch.
I know I'm taking a smack for that later, Keith.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So anyway, it's been quite the off the cuff radio style show today.
Much better. Much
Well,
better.
we just talk
we
about
gotta
what's
take
on
a
our
break
mind.
every now and again.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't bring up the recurring topic.
No, we didn't. Thank God. We're out. We only have 2 minutes.
We're
You're not
finished?
bringing it up.
Oh, okay. Okay, that will not be talked about.
No need.
No need.
No need.
Okay.
I think
all
we
right.
beat that horse.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right. Okay. Well, everyone, we're going to, we got one more in the question box here. Tell them it's an AI virtual background on the women in bikinis,
Yeah.
apparently. No, that's not gonna work, but nice try, Brent. So anyway, we're going to go back to Orlando Life. Follow us online as we,
I wouldn't call being trapped in a building Orlando life, but
IT from an IT provider standpoint.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is the life.
Yeah, and we'll let you live a little bit through the social pics and videos.
Yep.
And we'll be back again Thursday, 1:00 Eastern time.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what happens between now and then. A lot of time.
God only
All
knows.
right.
Oh boy.
Darren, I'm gonna go get in the truck and I'll meet you out front in about 15 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, make it, give me 20 minutes. Perfect.
Well, that extra 5 minutes is gonna get him out there.
yeah.
I haven't. Okay. As I said, Ken, George, whatever you want, Ken. Yeah,
Darren, just so you know, just because you're paying for the Chick-fil-A doesn't mean you get the front seat. Since you're taking 20 minutes, Pete will be here in 15 and I'll be taking the front seat.
Oh, shot.
All right, meet me out front, guys.
Shotgun.
Bye.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right.